Hey everybody, Jack here, and I feel really privileged today to be sitting here with Anthony from Fun with Calisthenics, YouTube channel you guys are going to want to check out after hearing this interview. Anthony, how you doing?
Oh, Jack, thank you very much for that introduction. I'm doing really well, thank you, and really pleased to be on your channel.
Yeah, no, thank you again for being here. And Anthony, I wanted to chat to you because you've done something really, really cool recently. Why don't you tell everybody what you just did?
Okay, well, I've done a muscle up. To many of you, that will be not much of an achievement, but I'm a 55-year-old man, and going back 3 months, I was doing one or two pull-ups at a time. So to do the muscle up was quite an achievement for me personally.
I mean, Anthony, that's incredible, and I'm just beginning my pull-up journey myself, and to have seen you do your accomplishment at 55 years old, I mean, it blew my mind, and honestly, I consider you an inspiration, not only for me and what I want to do here in the short term, but also what I would like to be myself in the long term. So, thank you for sharing that with everybody.
You're welcome.
Anthony, why a muscle up? Why did you want to do a muscle up?
Well, a bit like you and your journey when you did a hundred press-ups a day for a year. Well, earlier on, I'd done 100 press-ups a day for a month, and I was quite pleased with that. And then at that point, I thought maybe I should try something different. And, and I saw people on YouTube doing muscle ups, and I thought that's brilliant. I'd love to do one of them. So basically, I bought myself a pull-up bar that you put in your doorway at home, and I could do one or two. On a good day, I could do three, but that's as far as I could get. So
Well, you went from one, two, and three to a muscle up. What was your training routine? How did you actually go from, we'll say, stage zero to what you were able to accomplish?
okay, well, I guess there's a few things that I did, but one of the things was to download an app just off Google, and it gave you a little training program where it broke it into 5 sets. So, like the first day, you'll be doing one pull up, and then you have a 2 minute rest, and then another pull up and a 2 minute rest until you've done your 5 sets. And then very, very gradually, it would increase. But some days I couldn't do it because I was still tired from the previous day. It did take me a long time, and then something else that really sort of struck me was in order to do a muscle up, you've got to spend quite a lot of time actually holding on and hanging on that bar.
Yep.
And so one of the first things I did was try to increase the amount of time I can actually hang from the bar. Because if you can only hang from the bar for like 20, 30 seconds anyway, you're not going to be able to do it. So
Yep.
that was a really important lesson for me.
And was this something that you trained every single day, or did you incorporate rest into your training
Oh,
program?
I did. I mean, if I didn't really have a set program, but I tried to do it whenever I could.
Mhm.
Having the bar indoors was really helpful to get me good at the pull-ups. What I did learn quite quickly though was a lot of other YouTubers have talked about this is that you have to be able to do about 10 pull-ups, 10 good pull-ups before you can do a muscle up. So I thought that's got to be my short-term goal, and that took a couple of months at least, maybe two
Wow.
and a half months before I could do that. Um, I also, and you might be able to relate to this a little bit actually, one of the things I thought was if I could lose a little bit of weight,
Yeah.
be a lot less heavy, it'd be a lot easier. So I did actually start quite carefully, and I did lose a bit of weight first.
No, good on you. No, I'll tell you, it's something I think everybody wants, and it's easier said than done a lot of the time. But undoubtedly, not only for doing a pull up or a push up or your aesthetics, if you're carrying around a little bit extra on you, I think it's always good to try and lose that. And you started with the pull-ups. You had to get your hang time and your grip strength a little bit
Yeah.
stronger. You lost a little bit of weight, and then
Yeah.
from there, what did you
Well,
do?
well, then I've actually got a video that I've put together, and it covers my 3 month journey. I haven't uploaded it yet, but
Ooh,
that's something that I will be doing fairly soon. But basically, I went down to the local park, the outdoor gym, and I bought some resistant bands,
nice.
and they made all the difference to me, really.
Mm.
So I thought it was going to be so easy. I had an extra thick one, a medium one, and a small one, and I put them all on there. and I thought I'm going to be like catapulted above the bar here. But actually, even with those, I couldn't get above the bar the first time.
Oh my God.
That was soul destroying. But over time, I went back maybe 2 or 3 times a week at a time when the park wasn't busy, so there weren't people watching me, and I did actually get better, and I could then start to reduce the bands that I was using. But lots of pull-ups, lots of swinging on the bar, lots of getting caught up in the bands, all sorts
Yeah.
of things went wrong. But yeah, it takes a bit of time, definitely.
And now that you mention it, other than the bands, was there anything else that you purchased or had to spend money on to continue this hobby and reach this personal goal? Or is this something that really anybody with a
Absolutely not.
bar or a park can do?
I started getting like little calluses on my hands, so some gloves came in useful
Yeah.
actually. Like but just the bands made all the difference. It made it possible. And then once I was able to actually do a muscle up by using a resistant band,
Mhm.
then all of a sudden I felt what the motion feels like. My body started to get used to it. I said, this is what it's supposed to feel like, so that I could go over it and go over it, and it made a big difference to me.
Were there any YouTubers or videos in particular online that helped you with form, or was there someone in, we'll say, real life coaching you along the way, or did you figure it out on your own?
Ah, well, there was a mixture actually. There was nobody in the real life. Everybody was in the virtual YouTube world,
Yeah.
and there was loads of them. There was so many people that can do it, and they can do it really, really well. And so I can't really name anybody like specifically that really inspired me the most. But what I did notice is that there are ways of learning it, that there are hard ways and easy ways. And if you do what they call a really good form muscle up, when you keep your legs straight and you don't bring them up to your chest, then that's like, for me personally, that's my dream. But that we're talking probably months and months, maybe not years, to get to that level, if ever.
Yeah.
But if you bring your knees up to your chest really hard, really pull your knees up, and things like that make a big, big difference.
Now you mentioned perhaps somewhat jokingly that you would go to the park at times when people weren't there so that you could practice doing your muscle up. And then here you are making videos and throwing them up on YouTube for the whole world to
I
see.
know, it's
How
crazy.
how did how did that happen? Along with your physical progression, how did you go from, no videos to sharing it with the world, and then someone like me finding it and reaching out to you?
I know it's a crazy world we live in at the moment, isn't it? But
Mhm.
that's exactly what happened. Though I set the camera up and record myself, and then I'd watch it back and think, I've still got such a long way to go. And next thing you know, it's all happened. And 3 months have passed, and the video's out there. It's an incredible thing, really. This whole YouTube thing, really,
Yeah.
and I find it really motivates you as well, because you can see
Mhm.
your progress, and if you stick at it. And I think one of your philosophies is about sticking at things and just doing a little bit often on a regular basis, and watch the progress.
Oh yeah, I found for me, not only with the weight loss, but even with physical exercise and language learning and other things that I do, is a little bit of effort done consistently will compound over time and lead to great results, as opposed to the we'll say feast or famine approach that many
Yeah,
people adopt for many things in their lives. So definitely, if you work at it consistently and you give it your best effort, and you actively try to improve and make adjustments and make things progressively more difficult, and challenge yourself a little bit each day, not just go through the motions, but like
yeah,
really push it, like with you and the bands, starting with 3, moving down to 2,
yeah,
probably trying on occasion to do them without the bands and failing and going back to the bands, but always
absolutely.
challenging yourself. And here you are, man. You did it. You're at the Muscle Up Club. Yeah.
I know, and it was a shock to me when I did do the first one. It really was.
Oh, yes.
And the next day I went out and I did a couple more, and then that was all I could do. Then the following day I did one at a time. When I say a couple more, I'm talking about one, and then having a little break,
Yeah.
and then doing another one. And then after that, I had a bit of a pain in my shoulder, so I thought I'd better leave it for a couple of weeks, because it was like
Mhm.
I didn't want to aggravate it. So I've had to take a little bit of a backward step now, which is
Yeah.
really annoying, because I'd like to get back out there and continue my journey really and improve the form and make it look like something's really quite good.
Well, I can sympathize with a slight shoulder injury myself and needing to take some time off. Aside from that, after already having accomplished your goal, did you have any other challenges along the way, or anything else that you needed to overcome or adjust? We'll say.
Well, in order to work on the muscle up, you mean? Or
Yeah. Were there any
yeah,
other challenges or difficulties
yeah,
people might expect to face?
yeah. Well, I can only speak for myself, but the the biggest hurdle I've come across since doing the muscle up is that I know I can do it because I've done it before.
Mhm.
So physically, I can do it. Technically, I've learned how to do it technically, but my mind doesn't always let me do it. Sometimes I'll stand below the bar and I look at it and I think I've just done it with the thick band. I've done it with the small band. I'm now going to do it with the out the band, and I know I can do it. You know what happens? I jump up, I grab the bar, I start to swing, and I don't pull on my arms
Yeah.
because I'm thinking to myself, no, my swing's wrong. I haven't gripped the bar properly.
Mhm.
Something's not right, and then I end up on the floor and I didn't do it, and
Yeah.
it's so annoying. It's all psychological. It's yeah. So, so then I have to
So
go back to use the bands again.
yeah, it's just so interesting. Do you have any theories as to why that may happen some days and other days not, or any ideas on how to overcome that and get past it?
I think the way to overcome it, and this is what I am actually working on now, is you have to visualize yourself. And I think this works with any sport. If you visualize yourself doing the perfect performance or the perfect muscle up and just hit that into your head and then just go for it, then that's when it's going to happen. But if you have any doubts in your head, and I think in any sport, if you have doubts before you perform or do what it is you do, it's gonna get you and it's gonna make you underperform. And so I get that. I get that sometimes. I jump up on a swing on that bar and I think, something's not right. So I just don't pull
Mhm.
hard enough. And you have to give it 100% every time, or I do.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome advice. Well, Anthony, I mean, I'm about to start. Well, I've already started my pull-up journey, and I'm making progress little by little every day. And someday I'm going to work on the muscle up myself. Do you have any specific tips for me
Yeah,
at the very, very beginning of what I'm doing?
absolutely. The biggest tip I learned was you have to be able to do 10 straight pull-ups. That's quite a few other YouTubers have said that. I got to 14 straight pull-ups before I really felt that I was in with the chance of doing a muscle up.
Mhm.
And you've got to work on your grip strength. And the
Mhm.
best way to do that at the stage that you're at is just hang from the bar. So just like
Mhm.
you stand on the bar and just like hang for it. And the first time you do it, you'll probably think like 10 seconds and think, oh my God, your hands are killing you.
Mhm.
You've got to increase it. And I would think if you can get to like a minute or so just hanging from the bar, it's not easy, but it will help.
Okay, so I'm
So
I'm actually going to write this down.
yeah,
10, 10 pull-ups, and we'll say a 60-second hang
yeah, go
as a
for that.
prerequisite before attempting my first
Yeah,
muscle up.
yeah. And
All
and
right.
use the bands. It makes such a difference.
All right. I know where I need to get to,
Oh,
and
great
I
to
think
see you, Jack.
sometimes that's honestly the hardest part is just knowing where you need to go and how to get there. And now I've got two very clear steps to help me out. It could take a year, but at least I know what I need to do before it
Yeah.
happens. So no, I deeply appreciate that. And Anthony, what's next for you? You're 55. You just did a muscle up. I mean, you must be
Yeah,
like the king of the world right now. There's
yeah.
what do you hope to do
So
next?
I've had a few other YouTubers that have reached out to me recently that in with the idea of doing some collaborations. So I've recently done one with a guy from the British Army. So that's on its way out.
Awesome.
And I've got a few other things in the pipeline. But there is something that really appeals to me, and I want to have a go at it. And it's going to be hard. It's the human flag.
What
Um,
on what is that?
what is that? Well, it's a really tough one, and I've tried it, and I can't do it at all at the moment. It's basically where you reach out and you hold a post, like or some
Yeah.
railings like that, and your body goes that way, and your arms go that way. It takes it's like it's a skill. It's like it involves strength, but it also involves a lot of technique as well.
Oh
And
yeah, I mean the core strength you must have to be able to pull something like that off. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I am not going to be attempting that for a while, but Anthony, that sounds awesome. I'm really excited to follow your progress. And why don't you tell everybody where can they find you to watch you fail for a couple of months doing a human flag before you finally do it?
I'll definitely be failing for a few months. Yeah, so I've got a channel. It's called Fun with Calisthenics, and it's all about body weight exercises, staying out of the gym, and just developing yourself physically and mentally, and keeping fit and keeping in shape. But yeah, it's a YouTube channel. I've got about 30 videos out there, or nearly 30 videos out there at the moment, and it's growing all the time. And yeah, come and have a look.
And just real quick, I mean, your background, maybe a little bit more information about you, and then what you hope to accomplish with the channel moving forward.
Yeah, well, my background, exercise-wise, was going back to my school days. I was in a cross-country team, did a lot of running, and then moving into my 20s and 30s, I used to run a lot of half marathons. Then I got into the full distance marathon, became a little obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Over a 3-year period, I actually ran 36 full-length marathons, like 12 a year. I did New York,
Awesome.
Amsterdam, funnily enough, Amsterdam.
Yeah, awesome. So
Paris,
cool.
London 3 times. So I've done a range of them. But as I got older, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and I've just kind of like turned and taken a different direction now. So yeah, so calisthenics is where I'm finding myself at the moment. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm learning so much all the time.
Awesome. Well, Antony, I can't thank you enough for being here, for sharing your story, sharing all of the success that you've had, and your clear passion and enthusiasm for all things health and fitness. So thanks again. I really appreciate it, and I hope everybody out there goes and checks him out. And I'll be following your progress and cheering you on along the way. So thanks a million, Antony, and I look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you so much, Jack.
All right. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.